Welcome back to the channel. England face off against Senegal tomorrow in the World Cup round of 16, and the omens are pretty good for England going into this one. Their record against African nations currently stands as played 20, won 14, drawn 6 and lost 0. They haven't faced an African team in a World Cup knockout game since the 1990s against Cameroon. England and Senegal have never played each other before, and this is the first time Senegal have reached the knockout stages in 20 years. Now, Cissé's been doing a little bit of bits, and he's fielded varying formations across his side's 3 matches, showing that they can be tactically flexible, and that makes them difficult to predict. And knowing the way Southgate is overly cautious and definitely thinks about the opposition first, this could cause England some problems. Senegal definitely try and react to the specific threats that they might face, and doing this has helped his side get on the front foot. They alternate between a couple of very obvious formations, 4-2-3-1 and 4-4-2, and I think against England you're probably going to see them put that extra man in midfield and go with a 4-2-3-1. Strongest area of the team is midfield and up front. The likes of Qatar, Mendy, Guy and Dye in the centre of midfield. They've got an engine, they've got experience, and they've got some talent in there, and it can work both ways. They can be aggressive going forward and aggressive defending the ball. They've got great physical attributes and brilliant work rate, and I think Kayate is going to be unavailable and Idrissa Gueye is suspended, and that is a nightmare for them. In attack, they are probably over-reliant on the individual qualities of Deer and Sarr, who are probably going to use every opportunity to try and make runs in behind. If Harry Maguire is selected, they'll look to target Harry Maguire on the turn. Lack of awareness, lack of pace is the biggest weakness in that England back line, and you would expect England to have the lion's share of possession, which means that they're probably going to try and creep up, which means there will be space in behind, and if they're going to be caught out, that will be it. They will use every opportunity to run in behind. They will use long balls. The defensive line will clear them long, and it could just be a foot race, and if that's the case, Harry Maguire's a problem. I would probably be trying to get Kyle Walker into this team at some point, and in all honesty, I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if Southgate did switch it up to a 3 in this one. The positive for England is that defence is the weakest part of the team when it comes to Senegal. All defenders except Koulibaly are prone to just unbelievable schoolboy clangers, and fullbacks are probably the weakest part, and England have got a lot of strength in the wide areas. Gareth Southgate should look into take the game to Senegal rather than worrying about them, because you could go and score a load. And even though that they've got obvious ways to attack, it's not necessarily obvious that they're going to score if they do attack. They have a bit of an aggressive man-marking responsibility out of possession, which does mean that you can draw players out. So rotations in midfield and in the front line would really cause them a lot of problems. I think Harry Kane could be a big part of how England play in this. If you don't pick him up because you're worried about being dragged too far into midfield, he could really cause a lot of problems against Senegal. This is how I think Senegal are going to line up. And the star man for me is going to probably be Ismaila Sarr. Quick, direct, tricky. He's got a decent finish on him, and he's a player that obviously most of the England team should be familiar with. I think he'll be one of the biggest threats, and I think it'll be on the counter. And if he can pull off the shoulder of Harry Maguire, I think that there's a very, very real chance that he gets opportunities. Whether or not he finishes them is a different matter, but I think he'll get opportunities. For England, I think the back four probably should feature Kyle Walker on the pace, but I think he'll probably go with Trippier and Shaw, and I think it'll be Stones and Maguire. And I think Trippier over Walker could be a problem because of the pace, and I think Maguire could be a problem because of the pace as well, but I think he'll still go with that. In midfield, it really should be probably a bit of a tap-in to go with Bellingham and Rice. I think they're pretty much guaranteed. I think they should go with someone with a little bit more creativity. It'll probably be Mount. I don't think Grealish or Foden would be a bad shout in there, even though he's already sort of shown his hand that he's not going to play Foden in the central areas. The wing is an interesting one. I think Saka on the right, Kane down the middle's a cert, and it should be Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side, especially up against poor fullbacks. If you want to turn them around, get in behind them, create space, that's how you're going to do it. And he's in great form. 3 goals in the World Cup. Should have had more. Put him in with confidence. Can definitely exploit the Senegalese fullbacks. Can match the athleticism of them as well. And when Harry Kane pulls off into the space in between the lines, you need someone that's going to run in beyond. And that's what Marcus Rashford does. He runs in beyond. Sterling likes it to feet too much. Grealish likes it to feet too much. You need something different. You've got to have different tools in your armoury. And I think he's different to everybody else in the England team. And for me, the form and the confidence that he's in, kid's got to play. Simple as that. How do you beat him? Wide areas are the big one. Wingers will be vital, holding their width. Fullbacks are the weakest area of the team. You can get down the side of them. They can get caught sleeping. They can be dragged out of position as well because they're trying to man mark and be tight. Underlaps and things like that would be very positive. And they will be dogging and compact, so the space will be in the wide areas. Number 2, you've got to be wary of the counter. Because they will be absolutely lightning on the transition. And if England are in the opposition half, if they push right up to the halfway line and they're dealing with the ball in that half, the chance of the ball coming back with speed, it might not happen a lot, but you might only need 1 or 2 if they're going to be so tight and compact and England are struggling to get a goal. If Senegal get a goal up on the counter, forget about it. They won't even think about attacking. They will just try and defend that lead till the death. So they need to be careful not to get sucked in or caught out, especially Harry Maguire with his pace and awareness. And 3, set pieces. One benefit of having Maguire in the team is he wins everything at set pieces. I'd like to see him be more productive from winning those things, but he is productive. And Senegal are actually quite shit at receiving crosses. They're vulnerable at those. They can switch off defensively. And I think that's an opportunity for England to get a goal or more. So that's what I think is going to happen. Let me know your score predictions. I think England get through this one. I think it's probably like a 2-0. Like, ends up looking relatively comfortable, even though I think it'll probably be a very tight first half. Wouldn't be shocked to see 0-0 at half time, in all honesty. But yeah, I think it's probably going to go a little bit like that. I expect England to get through, and I think it'll be France in the next round, and I think that'll be all she wrote. But let's get through this one first and see how it goes. See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.